Before we get started, I'm going to say a few things. Firstly, I apologize for the Inside Out video where some of the clips didn't have audio, and I don't know why that happened in editing software I use, so hopefully I'll figure out how to fix it. This includes some missing clips. Secondly, like in the Inside Out video, this is an experimental video, so I expect issues in the video, so with that out of the way, enjoy.
Seconds of logos to ask a simple question. Why is the crescent of the moon inside the damn moon? How is the sun's reflection of the moon only being blocked in that single particular area? Did someone build a giant Earth-sized stencil? What the hell's going on here?
CinemaSins complaining about the logos cliche.
Snakes have impeccable taste buds. I can taste air.
No, I think you have a tongue that moves the scents in the air to a special organ in your mouth to interpret them. So that just sounds like smelling with your tongue. But I either fell asleep in that class or was way too busy making jokes about my Jacobson's organ. So this is just an invitation to prove me right or wrong in the comment.
Actually, snakes can taste air. From my understanding with a quick Google search, snakes can taste air with a small organ in their lips to allow their tongue constantly taste air. So technically the movie is scientifically accurate with Mr. Snake here.
Stop sitting in booths like this. Do you think I want the bottom of your nasty shoes up towards the surface I eat on?
Okay, I'm gonna go kind of personal here and say it. I'm autistic, and sometimes when I sit in booths with someone showing the movie, because it feels natural to me, and yeah, I do keep my leg down when someone's sitting next to me, but when there's no one, I don't see the harm.
Sitting like this in a booth?
Afraid, because I'm the big bad wolf.
I am not.
CinemaSins says something random cliche.
I am the villain in every story.
Tell that to Huntsman hanging off the side of the vehicle? Why?
Because why not? I mean, I've seen people on YouTube hang on to their car's windshields before on YouTube, so it's not impossible.
Aye.
He's brave.
Fart when you lie, right?
No, I didn't, but this is cinema's very first instance of Chekhov's fart. Congratulations to all involved.
CinemaSins talking to the film, even though they were talking about a character in the movie cliche.
Sorry.
The movie expects us to believe that not only do piranhas fart, that when they do, it produces a large enough amount of gas that not only immediately fills a car, but also can then billow out of the car and cause all the cars behind it to wreck.
But the movie shows that his farts did do those things. So how is this a sin?
Oh, and that it's also great somehow returns to the car intact. Sorry, movie, you can't launch your cake and keep it too.
Again, the movie says it can, so because of that, I gotta double the sin count because of that claim.
Yeah, we may be.
Re-elected Governor Diane Foxington.
Wait, you're telling me that a society of mostly humans elected an animal as governor? Sure.
Yes, maybe they voted for her for other reasons besides being a fox, you know.
Sure, if there's one thing I know about it, isn't the Holy Grail of thievery?
Okay, fine. But he better be delicious.
This whole redemption arc is kicked off by Snake wanting to eat Professor Marmalade, one of the many things we are asked to forget by the end of it.
Okay, but if you watch the actual movie, you know that he didn't forget because he said when the bad guys got arrested for the crime they didn't commit, Snake said he wished he ate him. So either you forgot or you weren't paying attention.
So here's the plan.
It wouldn't be a heist movie without a detailed plan explanation before the heist is supposed to be wearing that man's clothing. The movie attempts to short-circuit us by doing things so obviously dumb and impossible that we can't help but know they are self-aware and realize how dumb they are, thereby hoping that makes them smart.
Okay, cartoon logic, Jeremy. Not everything in an animated movie makes sense.
No, all melting in the knees and tail waggy, because apparently all you have to do to tame a wolf is treat them like a domesticated pet. Marking that one down, in case I need it later in real life.
Well,
okay, but you do realize that dogs are pretty much descendants of wolves, right? Not only that, without this scene in the movie, it wouldn't have happened, right?
Or something. But also thinking a retinal scanner could be beaten with a picture of someone's eye.
Okay. I mean, it's still her eye, regardless if it's a photo or not. So this isn't impossible to do, I would assume.
Writers think a heist
not supposed to happen.
The oh no, how are they going to get out of this one moment every heist movie is obligated to use because suspense.
Okay, I haven't seen a lot of heist movies, but regardless, the ones that I did personally see have to have suspense to keep the movie interesting. So it's not a bad thing to have suspense.
Time to turn this baby on beast mode.
Since it seems to get everything done, Webbs is going to pass out from holding her breath so that she doesn't breathe any of Mr. Piranha's nervous toots. And I don't know if you realize this, but farts are not poison.
Who said the farts were poisonous? Have you ever sit next to someone who had smelly farts before? So I understand why Webbs would pass out from this.
Now let's make like a wolf and get
A little experiment, Diane.
Letting a general citizen try an experiment with likely perpetrators of multiple felonies who are already in custody.
Again, like I said earlier, without this, the movie wouldn't become a movie because it sets up the plot.
Of course, good thinking. That's why you're governor.
Is that why she's governor? I thought it was because a polarized electoral base was inflamed by the fear-mongering political elite wantonly abusing a two-party system to gain power and access.
Okay, so like I said before, it was likely she was picked for other reasons, and maybe one of those reasons was that the people think she was extremely trustworthy and well-spoken, which is probably why Marmalade said that.
Glad to be wrong.
That is an animal testing lab. Within 200,000 helpless guinea pigs, all being poked and prodded by sadistic scientists.
Why does this talking guinea pig exist in the same world as these other guinea pigs that are helpless?
Because this is how the movie's universe is. You don't always need any reason why some characters are animals, where some are normal animals.
Movie never. Tiffany Fluffett works as both a reporter and a newspaper writer, working in two obsolete professions simultaneously. That's actually impressive.
Similar to that one quick search of snakes can taste air, I did one for this one as well, and yeah, it's totally possible to work as a newspaper writer and a reporter. My guess is that her side job is being a newspaper writer, whereas her main job is a reporter. You can have more than one job, my guy.
Fox are not so different.
They are.
No, she's actually right here. Foxes and wolves are pretty similar, both metaphorically and scientifically, but if we're going scientifically, both wolves and foxes are in the same Canidae family, but the main difference between the two are their size, behavior, and hunting methods. So technically she's right.
Plans were even the slightest bit clever or interesting, but in 45 minutes we've already seen 4 different basic-ass heist plans with the most cliched and boring setups. Do you have access to Soderbergh's bathroom? Because he could out a more interesting heist plan in his sleep.
This is kind of ironic coming from the guy who misuses the term cliches in his videos. Just saying.
Fingerprint scanner could be beaten with a picture of someone's finger.
Okay, like I said with the eye thing, this isn't possible since it's still her fingerprint, regardless if it's on the glasses or not.
Just to be clear, these guys have been singing an impromptu song, playing instruments we didn't know they could play, backed by a band that is somehow following along while they sing lyrics that go perfectly with the theme of the movie. And they've all been doing it for the past 3 minutes of film time.
So, plus the voice actor for Mr. Piranha is an actual singer, so why not use his musical talent as a singer for the scene?
The rule of law in this situation. What is this, The Matrix? Also,
but the movie has to show how that Mr. Wolf came to the conclusion that Marmalade is the antagonist, because, he was there to see the whole thing play out.
October 19th, 1991? 91? Wolves usually live 6 or 7 years in the wild, and at most around 17 in captivity. This wolf is 31!
Like I said earlier, some of the animal characters are anthro, meaning they have some human characteristics, like being bipedal, when animals' characters are quadrupeds like Diane and Wolf, and also speak fluent English. So, meaning that he could age like the humans in this movie's universe,
This wolf is the equivalent. Snake was born in 65. Snakes live like 30 years max. He's over 50. Are all these animals immortal? Is this like the zoological version of the old guard?
You know what? No, I'm not going to say it for the third time. I'm going to send you for 50 cents, 10 cents per bad guy, because I'm not going to say it over and over.
Tell that to him.
Well, look, it's Pronoun Gaming's second cousin. Obvious pronoun misdirection.
Okay, at least this pronoun game makes sense since the guard didn't know that the said character is a female and not a male because her face was covered.
Good thing for Marmalade's plan that all these deliveries were the actual truckloads of cash driven to each individual charity, as opposed to, doing it digitally or something.
You do know that Marmalade knew about this and planned this since the start of the film, correct?
Doubt even the children watching this movie are concerned by this perilous situation.
Like what Luke said in his video, check out his videos by the way, usually the main characters don't die, and this is one of those cases where the main characters don't die.
Makes it into the script. Wolf killed approximately 1,355 guinea pigs in the scene to attempt to save his one.
This is a PG film. Well, here in the States that is, so it could be different depending on the country. So meaning they wouldn't kill their characters normally because they want to keep their rating.
Friend.
The sin total is 550. Closing statement is Wild Heist. Thank you for watching, everybody.